Today we thought we'd give you a little tour of our motorhome and show you what it's like to live in our older Class A diesel, and I hope you enjoy it. So I thought I'd start back here in the bedroom and show you our bedroom. It's kind of a unique place. It's been redone. Everything here is my old pants. These are my old Levi's. My wife made this bedspread, and also on the valances over here on the for the blinds and everything. That's all denim, and then those are my patches off my Levi's and my pockets and stuff. Kind of makes for a unique look. It's very comfortable for us. We also we prefer to have flannel sheets. We run flannel sheets year round. Some people think it's uncomfortable in the summertime, but actually we find it not to really be any different than just, regular sheet. I don't like the feel of like silky sheets and stuff. So one thing I wanted to point out about this RV is what's kind of unique to it is this rear window. Now there's diesel pushers that have rear windows, but that's not a window, that's a windshield. That's like a regular windshield, like on the front of the motorhome, but it's on the rear of the motorhome. Those windshields run about $1,800, and don't ask me why I know. But anyway, it's just so nice. Like if you're at the beach or something, you can just look out that back window and see the beach. We really like it. We don't use it a lot. We have a cover that goes on there, which I'm going to put on there in a second, so you can see what our bedroom's like. Because one of the things about every room in your motorhome, you want to make them really functional for you. Another thing I'll show you that's really a good thing is we have a heated mattress pad. And what's good about that is we don't like to run electric heaters or the gas heater, have that thing kicking on and off all night long. I actually was reading about a husband and wife that had a fifth wheel trailer, and they had a fireplace, electric fireplace, and they left a heater on almost all day long every single day. And the other night they were sitting watching TV, and all of a sudden the thing just ignited and caught on fire, and they were lucky to get it out. But I don't really trust them. We have a little tiny heater, and then we have one that's like a fireplace, and we choose to not run those. And another advantage to the heating pad, if you're doing a job where, you're straining yourself a little bit and stuff, it's kind of nice at the end of the day to kick that thing on and turn it on high and just lay down on the bed, and that heat will just suck that pain right out of your back and really make it a lot more comfortable. It's a very good thing to have. This is a memory foam mattress, 12-inch tall. And that's another thing. We like our bed up a little higher. It seems that when you're sitting down real low, it seems colder, it seems a little warmer, plus it's not as far to fall when we come to get back into bed. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pause for a second here, and I'm going to put the covers on. So hang on, I'll be right back. So here's our bedroom with everything in here. So let's go ahead and turn the light on. Anyway, all these items here serve a purpose. A lot of people say, "Oh, why do you have these really weird blue things over your shades?" And I tell people that a lot of times, like when we do sugar beets every other year, we work days, and then the next year we work nights, and it's back and forth, back and forth. We have one job where we work till about 10:30 or 11 at night, and then we come home. We want to spend some time kind of getting unwound a little bit, play on the computer and stuff like that. So what's nice about this is you can't tell when the sun comes up in here. As long as this door is closed right here, our pocket door, this room stays nice and dark. So when we get off of work from sugar beets, we come in, we close this door, and we sleep during the day, and as long as there's not a lot of noise, we're fine. So that's the functionality of our bedroom. It's a real nice room. Oh, another thing this motorhome has is, let's see if you can see this. I don't know if you can, but there's a vent down there. And what that vent is for, back here underneath the bed, we have a heater that works off the engine coolant of the motor. So if we're in real cold temperatures and we're driving along and we're getting ready to park, I'll flip that switch on the dash, and it turns this heater on back here, and by the time we get parked and get everything done, it's nice and warm in here, and it kind of takes the edge off for an hour or two, so that way we don't have to run all of our propane or anything like that. So anyway, basically this is our bedroom. AC back here. When we gate guarded, we had to replace our ACs. I put two 15,000 BTU ACs on the roof, and man, this thing turns into a little freezer back here. And now the bathroom. So let me back up here a little bit. When you're buying an RV, we're going to get into more of this kind of stuff. I'm going to kind of give people a heads up on how to buy RVs, how to choose an RV, and how to buy an RV. One of the things about this one, some people don't like the walkthrough, but because it's just my wife and I live in here, it works out real great. If we ever have company, which we have a couch that turns into a bed in the living room, and we just keep the door shut. And then if someone wants to use the bathroom, they open that door, the other door over there, and come in and use it. And then when they go out, they close the door. And it kind of makes it nice because this is kind of like a closed off room when you're in here. Another thing that's really nice about this bathroom is it's so big, and these closets right here, this one over here is her closet, and this one over here is my closet. So when you're done taking a shower and you come out, your closet's right here, your clothes, everything's in here. You're not having to go to different rooms or anything like that. So like, once again, if you have people staying with you or something, it makes it kind of nice because you can come in here and do everything you want to do and not have a problem. Also, we have down here we have our water heater, which I just redid all the sensors, the temperature sensors and all that stuff on it. That water heater also has coolant lines going to it, so it runs on 110 propane and coolant. So when we're traveling, we constantly have hot water. A lot of the new RVs don't have those kind of things. Of course, now a lot of them are using the aqua hots, which I think are a really good idea as long as they work. Sometimes they don't work too well, but they are getting the bugs out of them. This center cabinet here, this is where a washer dryer goes. We choose not to have a washer dryer, and the reason is we can go over to the laundromat in an hour and a half. All our laundry is done, instead of constantly having to have a machine running. And then if you use the dryer part, it just takes forever to do clothes in an RV. You can just stop along the road, or once you get a place to stay, there's always a laundromat around somewhere. I'll show you a couple of cool items in here. This is our shower, as you can tell. But these little deals right here, they are wonderful. They just stick to the wall. They got one for I like to shave. I got my mirror up there for shaving. These things, they just stick on the wall. We used to have a thing that hung on the side here, and every time you went around the corner, it was bang, bang, bang. And then we finally got to the point where we were laying it down on the floor, and it just got to be, it was getting rusty and everything else. So we got rid of this stupid thing, and now we got these, and they work real good. Another thing I recommend to anybody that's going to buy an RV, first thing you want to do is take that $9 shower head that comes with them and toss those in the trash and get you one of these. This is the Oxygenics shower head, and I mean, it comes with a little on-off switch here, and they're like probably 50% stronger than a regular shower head, and they use less water. They use about 30% less water, so they're a really good item to have. I would suggest those highly. But this is our bathroom. Spend a little time in here every day. Plus we have of course we have a fantastic fan in here, which are really nice to have. One other thing I'll show you here. So people are always talking about, I know the picture is not real good, just bear with me folks, about humidifiers. That's our humidifier. You can get those for $1 at the dollar store, and they just suck the moisture. You can see the water in there. They suck the moisture right out of the air. I always say that it's a good idea to open these things up on a daily basis, which we do. Our fantastic vents open right now. We have things kind of closed up right now because of walking through here. The sun's pretty bright, and we want to get rid of the glare. But anyway, good thing to have. Also here we got our refrigerator, which it's a three-way. So when we're parked and we're hooked up to 110, we're getting the refrigerator's running on 110. If we're boondocking, it runs on gas. When we're driving, it runs on 12 volts. And this is one of the this motorhome's 23 years old. So, you know, all the new ones have these double wides and all that, and they're awesome. Don't get me wrong. But one thing good about these are is they're pretty deep, and I mean, we got a ton of stuff in here. They're pretty deep, and you know, it's like I say, it's not. I don't know whether you can get more stuff in this than a double wide, but it takes up less space, and what you end up with is you end up with one of these. So originally, this cabinet had one of those metal deals you grab and you pull it out and you put like 3 or 4 cans on the 4 shelves it has, and that's all you could put in there. So I just went and got a piece of plywood and mounted it to this wall here, and then I put these bottoms in. These pieces here were all the trim pieces from what was in there before, so I just reused those, repurposed those, and now, I mean, this thing, you can barely reach to the back. You have to have a flashlight to shine in there, and Darla was using, she was like making lists of what was on each shelf, but after a while that kind of gets to be a headache too. So we end up buying the same stuff over and over again. Then when we have too many, we start using them in those. So, but I mean, it keeps, you know, it's real tall in here, so you can put tall items like this in here and it won't fall over. And the same way on the bottom, I just put these little lips on here so this stuff can't slide out. Works pretty good. Anyway, it really makes it nice for hauling stuff. Of course, we have a regular stove and a convection oven. We really don't, you got to go get the cooktop. We'll show them that. We don't use our propane stove hardly at all. These, man, we love these things. We're coffee drinkers, and we always keep a spare because we've gone through a couple of those. Everybody that's around us, we usually end up getting one because it just, I don't know what it is about percolators, but those electric percolators make the best coffee. Anyway, I know that some other people have talked about these. These are the new wave induction cooktops. Darla has 2 of them, and that's all she uses. She rarely, I mean, like I say, we got to be somewhere where you have to use this. You know, I mean, use this propane. We don't want to run the generator, or we don't have electricity. So these things work really good. We use iron pans, iron skillets. They tend to be more healthy, so we've been using those, and they work great with those. So Darla will give you more information on that later. She's going to do a little thing, show you how they work. Let's see, what else do we have in here that would be of interest? Changed all our lights. They were all fluorescent, and I changed all those over to LED and did some shopping. You can get these light bulbs that replace in here, but they're $45 a copy, so you got 90 bucks a light. I did the whole motorhome for $70. So you know, you can't beat it. There's a little work involved with putting these things in, but they do work pretty good. I got my little temperature gauge over here. A couple of good ideas to have here. This little gauge right here, that little gauge right there, when I'm in a campground, it tells me what my voltage is. Like right now, it's right on the edge of red, so it's like 125 volts. But a lot of these campgrounds, sometimes the voltage is down to 100. And those people that had that fireplace burn up, it was probably because of low voltage. Low voltage is the worst thing you can do to any of these appliances. Your overhead ACs, heaters, induction cooktops, any of that kind of stuff. So right here, I have it right by my chair, so I can keep an eyeball on it and make sure that the voltage is holding real good. Also, right below that is a Wilson power booster for cell towers, and right next to that is our MiFi. That's what I was on the last video, or on V2, I was telling you about the MiFi unit. That's the MiFi unit we use. They're about $30 on eBay. You can find them, and that's what we have for internet. It's right there. I can. It will fill the whole RV with internet. Works real good. I keep my computer here. That's also, this plug over here is inverted. So when we're parked and we're just running off our inverter, our batteries in our inverter, I can watch that gauge also, and it will tell me how many volts I have coming out of my inverter. So I know that my inverter is working properly, and all these items are still going to work. Also have my TV. Spend a lot of time. We have satellite, we have DishNet. I enjoy watching television, so I have a nice television. It's a giant screen for in here. Originally it had a 19-inch tube TV, and I put this thing up and it was like, wow, big difference. So made a big difference. Also on the front dash here, here's another little a little gauge that I have, and it tells, like right now it's at 12.9. So on this RV, when you're plugged in, the converter does not charge the start batteries. It just charges the house batteries. So I put a trickle charger in the back, so when I plug in, it kicks on and it charges the truck batteries. And this right here is in the cigarette lighter, and that's off the truck battery, so it shows me how much power I have in my truck batteries. Also for my house batteries, I have a little switch in the bathroom that I can turn on. It will tell me whether it's completely charged or not. And then I also, on my panel that controls my inverter, it will tell me exactly what my voltage is. So I have an eyeball into everything that's going on, and believe me, in these RVs, the old ones, you know, they have their problems. The new ones, I mean, they have so many electronics in them that if you have a problem, by the time you figure it out, you're not starting, you're not doing anything. So I like to know what's going on at all times. Also, I put a leveler on the front dash here, and then I have one over here on the side. And when I pull in and park, this thing has automatic levelers. You just push the button twice and the rig airs down, and then it starts lifting, and I don't know, probably 50% of the time it levels up real nice, everything's real good. But the way our levelers come out, they kind of come out at an angle, like we're on rocks right now, and after you walk around a little while, it kind of settles down, and it might be off just a little bit. It drives me crazy, so I'll just kick it on and manually bring it back. These are it's my backup camera right here, which I just had to replace. That's my monitor, but I have a camera in the back, and then right below it right there, that's my GPS. I have a Rand McNally for RVs, and you put in all your information as far as how long you are, how tall you are, how much you weigh, the vehicles. You put all that information in, and it's supposed to route you around all the problems and help you with those situations to keep you from tearing the roof off your motorhome. Another thing I have is, I know a lot of these guys have these, I don't know if you can see it real good, but it's a little magnet deal, and that's where my phone sits. So then I have my time, plus I have a camera there, and then I have a on-the-road camera that I film with, as far as just being able to, we really haven't put any of this stuff on it yet, but we're just trying to get used to doing all this stuff, and watching other people's videos kind of helps with that. So we have an SJ4000 we stick on the windshield. Anyway, that's what it looks like when I'm driving, and you know, nice sound system, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, let's see, what else will we have of any information? I have those little fans right there, and all they're really good for is kind of halfway defrosting. There's that electric fireplace, kind of coolly looking. It's got the kind of realistic looking flames, but like I say, I don't trust it at night, and I don't really trust it when I'm not here. So we plus that plug up there that's plugged into is inverted, so if for some reason the power was to go out here, then it would be running on inverted power, and it's probably a little bit too much for the inverter. Don't want to burn anything up. Oh yeah, and then this is the this is where we have all the grandchildren and children and all that kind of stuff. And I can sit right here over in my chair here, and I can spin around and look at all my grandkids and kids, and I really enjoy that. Sometimes it's just fun to just sit there and look at them, because I don't see them all the time. Although when we talk to some of the old timers, there's Darla, say hi. The old timers, they'll tell you when they, oh yeah, when they got out on the road, they didn't have, there was no cell phones, no Skyping, there was none of that stuff. So in order to talk to their family, they have to pull over and try to find a phone and all that kind of stuff. So they kind of the people that taught us kind of gave us the information to get started, and they say, you guys got it made. And this is really a great time now to be able to go out and start full-time RVing, because you basically can have everything that you would have in a house on wheels, and you can do it anywhere in the country. Another important thing I'm going to point out here is you're going to want to have a printer scanner. This is a Brother, I think it was about $100.50. But for a lot of these jobs, you got to send information back and forth and get papers to sign and all that kind of stuff. These things work real well. Well, most of the time. Anyway, and then we used to have these little folding stick chairs that came with the RV, and Darla wanted me to put a booth in here, and I started looking into it, and for some reason there's not a, doesn't seem like there's enough room. And it would have been, it just wasn't going to work out. So I said, well, look, why don't we just go get you some, because this is where she likes to sit over here. She's got her computer world here. We are eventually going to get rid of this couch. It's it looks pretty cool, but it's really not the most comfortable thing in the world. But nobody uses it. Yeah, and nobody uses it really. But these chairs are real nice. They're used, but they're American-made secretary chairs, and they go up and down, and they do all kinds of things, and they're really, really comfortable to sit in. And my buddy who upholstered, he reupholstered my leather chair and that couch, and then all the valances in here and everything. He made covers for those for me. So I've got about $70 invested in those two chairs. I couldn't go wrong. One chair brand new was about $350. So we scored pretty good. That's my pride and joy right there, my Shark vacuum cleaner. I am the housekeeper. That was the deal, to get the wife away from the grandchildren and the children. I told her I'd do the housework if she would go with me. So she said, okay. So then I said, well, I need a good vacuum cleaner. So, and as you can probably tell, this thing's kind of beat up. I use it a lot. It goes outside and vacuums the truck and does everything, the cargo bays and the whole thing. So I think pretty much it's covered. I think you kind of get to see our RV. We, you know, I've replaced that wood floor. We're in Texas. We had a sideways rainstorm. The water came in through the refrigerator vent and then dripped over there in the corner and just bubbled the floor. So I had to replace that. And I did the carpet job and new carpet. And another thing, another little trick I like, I'll tell you this. See, that's those little carpet squares that you can get at Home Depot and stuff like that. They're real good. This used to have like a light powder blue carpet inside, and what I did is before I put this gray carpet in, I put those in, because you just could, every time you walked in, then you had to clean the carpet. So those things there, and they go all the way on the step outside, same way, from this mat here, those all the way to the ground. It's that type of material, and they last a couple of years. And on the outside, I just hog ring them to my steps. So one more walk around here. Oh, I'll show you something that's kind of cool. One thing that's nice in a motorhome is you always want to have a place to put your trash. And we got a nice big trash can. You can see it right there. Great idea. Works real good.
And you need to dump it.
And I need to dump it. See, the head housekeeper here is telling me what I need to do.
And then we'll show them the outside on a separate video.
Yeah, I'm gonna do an outside video. It'll be separate from this one, but I did kind of want to just let everyone see this is how we live. I mean, it's very 90s, but I'm kind of a 70s, 80s, and 90s guy. So to me, this is kind of new. I just like it. It just feels comfortable. I mean, one thing about when you're living in an RV, the first thing you want to do is make sure you have somewhere really comfortable to sit. And we had a Lance camper, and my wife was like, well, you know, we could do this lifestyle in that Lance camper. Well, you know, you put about 2 bags of stuff, because that's how much storage there is. And then when you go to sit down, there's 2 places to sit, at the dinette booth or lay down in bed. And so, you know, I spent most of my time laying down in bed. But now I got this nice chair. I'll tell you, I get some of the best rest in this chair. I sleep more in this chair sometimes. It's just really comfortable. When we had our house, I always had a black leather recliner. And when I bought this motorhome, it was like a powder blue cloth. And my buddy, he took that thing and reupholstered it up for me, and I really like it. You guys, I'm going to try to talk him into doing an interview. He was supposed to originally go with us when we left on this little adventure, and he decided not to. He decided to wait, and he kind of went through the really hard times in California. And he lost a lot of stuff, but he managed to keep his business open. And now he's getting to the point where he's wondering why he did all that, went through all that pain. So I think he's got a motorhome. He's got a Holiday Rambler. It's a year older than this one, but this one is a Harley Davidson. Harley Davidson owned Holiday Rambler when this motorhome was built. They made this particular design model RV Imperial 2 years. In '97 they changed, and in '94 they were different.
Nobody wants to just look at a picture.
Well, I know they're listening.
I'll cut it.
Okay. Well, you can't cut it if I'm talking. That's going to be our next thing. How do you get along? And we had, a lady wrote me and said, "How do you guys live together without driving each other crazy?" So we're going to try to figure it out. We're going to try to explain it. So anyway, we're going to be talking with Randy, my buddy Randy, and see if we can convince him to do a video, and because he's going to be just starting out, and we're going to spend we're going to try to show his from start to finish and on the road, and kind of give people a perspective on how things work. So anyway, that's the end of the tour. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be doing, I don't know, some other stuff real soon. Thank you.